Hi, Kate Duffy here with a little bit of wisdom about words and stigma. There was a while back, I had a group of families in a training, and I asked them to type in the chat a word that they thought of when they thought of drug addict or alcoholic. And we put these words together in a word cloud. And oh man, it's an ugly cloud. And what I want to talk to you about is it really connects to the very, very beginning when I knew I had to work in this way with families. And let's just say that some of those words aren't untrue. Let me explain. I'm wanting to fight stigma, but I want to also be realistic and say that we can be jerks. We are manipulative, and we do become liars. When I first started supporting families to teach them about addiction from the behind the curtain as an alcoholic, it was because the part of me that knew I hurt my family would almost cry when I heard repeatedly from any family I met, "He's such a jerk. She's so mean. He's such a liar." Now, none of those are not true. They're true. But because I was newly recovering myself, they hit me who wasn't in that experience at the moment. I was the one that did that to people I love. They hit me differently than if two family members were talking to each other about their pain and about that person doing that thing, right? They would hear it differently. I was hearing it. It was just like stabbing me because it was like, you did this, you are that. And I kept thinking, yep, you're right. Those things are all true. And you feeling that isn't wrong, but you going at your loved one with that isn't helping anyone. It's not helping you to stay in that pain, and it's not helping them, because people don't get motivated by, "Oh my God, you're right. I'm such a jerk. What am I thinking? Let me stop." Right? That makes us laugh a little bit. But so what I want to point out about these words is some of them aren't untrue. And I want you to know you should be mad. It's okay to be mad. There sometimes is this notion that we have to be all compassionate for the person with the mental health illness that is medicating it with alcohol, which is what addiction is, in my opinion. But it isn't. I'm not teaching that for people to tolerate or put up with or condone. But here's the thing. You want to separate your mad from what's really going on with them. I want you to think about, in that word cloud of all those nasty words, imagine if there was one tiny little word that said beautiful soul, sense of humor, super smart, all those qualities that your loved one had, that you knew them as way before they became addicted. They are still there. They're actually the core essence of your loved one. Your loved one's just not showing up with their core essence. They're showing up with their pain and their addiction and their fear and their misery. And if you meet them with your pain and fear and misery, that's repelling recovery. That is not going to equal recovery. So I really want to stress that words matter. Take your words, your pain, your anger, and your hurt. Take that to a recovery meeting for you. Then when you meet your loved one or greet your loved one, see the part of them that is whole, that is smart, that does have a sense of humor, that is beautiful, that is an artist, whatever it was they were, and still have inside them. You want to think of it as, imagine you had two really big containers in your house, and every time you had a negative thought, you dropped a marble in one container, and every time you had a positive thought, you dropped a marble in the other container. In the life of an alcoholic or addict, and I would argue for families being around addiction, the same thing happens. That negative one fills up a lot faster than the positive one, but there are still marbles in the positive one because there's all parts to us. So what I like to do is teach families how to address the part that isn't their addiction. Address the part that is their wholeness. That's what you want to feed. We want to start taking the marbles out of the negative and putting them in the positive. We want to start balancing out. And when you learn that your pain is trying to motivate and change them, you can say, wow, I want to motivate and change them. You just need to pivot how you're trying to motivate and change them, because people aren't motivated by anger or frustration or demands. We're not. It's just proven. We're motivated by being inspired to move forward in a new direction. So what I like to teach families is be inspired to move in a new direction. Let me help you turn the ship. And it starts with you. And why you? You wish it was them. Why you? Because you can, and they can't right now. So think back to a time before your loved one began this journey of spiraling downward, and journal a little bit about what that person was like, and journal to make it present in your mind and in your heart when you're talking with them. Imagine if you live with an alcoholic who's active, and the few minutes, because I'm not suggesting you have a long conversation with them if they're active, because they're not going to receive the love that you're handing them. But if you could see the part in them that we want to grow and turn away from the part of them that we don't want to foster or continue to enhance, you'll see a difference. You'll see a change. We've got to change the marbles. We've got to change those words. I'd love to hear from you about this. Send us an email at hello@tippingpointrecovery.com, or comment on one of our various social media platforms and let us know, what are you seeing? What are you experiencing as a result of this strategy? It really works, but you got to give it a try. You got to work it. I'd love to hear how it's going. Thanks for trying to make a difference in your family. You can make a big difference.